Welcome, I'm Kinetic Symphony. This is Dave. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the supernatural. Case file number 1788, written by Deanna B77. Fire, Gleams, and Cairo Screams. When I was 10, we went to Egypt. We were in Cairo, and I had a vivid and violent dream. My dreams have always been in color, with conversations, plots, and usually many people that I know or have never met. This dream, however, was violent, which was not normal. In the dream, someone who was wearing a red, green, and brown horizontally striped sweater had taken me. He had done terrible, hurtful things to me. He had abducted me and I was attacked and alone and I was going to be killed. I was shocked to wake up at 4 a.m. I had a deep sense of despair and fear. I didn't wake up my dad because it was confusing. I don't know how I'd even articulate what I'd just experienced. Remember, I was 10. That morning, we had an awesome breakfast, then making our way to the taxi line to go see the Great Pyramids. Dad had been a cabbie for a short time in his youth, and I knew he always went to the front of the taxi line because those were the guys who had been waiting the longest for a customer. We were about 4 cabs from the front of the line, and there he was. The guy in the sweater from my dream. He was the cab driver at the front of the line. I stopped in my tracks and grabbed my dad's arm. "Daddy," I said, "we can't take that cab, not that one." He saw the look on my face and my body language and didn't miss a beat. Just pivoted and chose a different one. We didn't speak of it, and I felt so relieved that day. Many years later, it came up in conversation. My dad recounted it from his perspective. He shared that he believed that kids had a sensitivity to their surroundings that adults sort of tamp down on or are desensitized to over years. He explained that when my older sister was 6, they were walking through a walled bazaar in Tehran, 1972-ish, when she tugged on his shirt and told him that they needed to leave. Without questioning her, he sprang into action. Since it was a closed space, he had to scramble them down an alley, towards the open-air portion and further away, towards the exit of the main boulevard. 1 minute after they left the market alley, Kalashnikov fire broke out. Over 30 people, including shopkeepers and regular people, market-goers, were ended. So when I froze on the street in Cairo, he took it as an indication that there was some danger and took appropriate action. He was amazing. Do me a favor and send him some thanks through the ether. He'd dig that. Thank you, stranger's dad. You did good. Case also file 1788. Fire, Gleams, and Cairo Screams. Okay, so finally we have a story where the dad, the parent, is, absolutely phenomenal. Win dad for sure. No kidding. I mean, almost every story, the parents don't believe the kid when they're coming to them with information or some concern. And I get it, it's a kid. You don't really think they're aware of it, of the normal world as much, but that's true. They're aware of the supernatural world more than adults. So pay attention. If a kid comes to you and says, "I saw a monster in my closet," don't laugh at them. Go with them, check it out, confirm that nothing's there. Humor them is the word. And sometimes maybe they're right and there is a monster and, have to prepare to battle a monster. Probably not, but you never know. So be a dad like this. Take your children's concern to heart. And especially when there's no reason not to. It didn't cost you anything to just switch cabs. Brings me such delight to read this story. Just, yes, that's how you do it. Case file number 1789, written by Possible Hat 9159. Voices clear that bring mysteries far and near. I have 2 quick stories. The first was back in 2012. My boyfriend at the time and I were driving down a country road at night, when this light appeared in the sky in front of his car. It was like a super bright star had just hovered there for a few seconds, before shooting straight up and disappearing. I mean, it went as fast as a shooting star and just vanished. We just looked at each other like, "You saw that too, right?" The second story, my freshman year of college. I was taking a nap in my dorm when I heard this voice clear as day say, "Cover your ears." I sat up and the fire alarms immediately started going off. I asked my roommate if she had heard anything and she swore she didn't. I still get goosebumps thinking about that one. Case also file 1789. Voices clear that bring mysteries far and near. So the first quick story, probably an alien encounter, which there just aren't many alien stories anymore. I wonder, is that because people are bored and they're not making them up, or are aliens not being seen anymore? Or are aliens just government aircraft and now they're not testing them in view of the public anymore? One of those is true, I don't know which one, but there definitely aren't many alien stories anymore. Not that I've seen. And I mean, this one happened years ago, over a decade ago, so yeah, just confirms that even more. And the second story, I guess, could be a guardian angel event, just a minor one. Someone's looking out for you and they want you to not have hearing problems because I hate the sound of alarms. Cover your ears, that's something that I would say if I was a guardian angel looking over someone. Sure, protect their hearing. Yeah. If you go to concerts, by the way, wear hearing protection because you're going to lose your hearing. It's so damn loud. I never liked loud noises. Fireworks are beautiful, but I always covered my ears. Very sensitive hearing. Case file number 1790, written by Ambitious Thai 8859. Tehachapi Fright. I live in a small town in Southern California called Tehachapi. The mountains up here are really creepy at night. There's stories of hauntings in the mountains and foothills, and stories of skinwalkers. You don't whistle at night here. My creepy story was while I was ghost hunting with some friends. I put it in quotes because we normally just headed into the forest up the mountain and smoked on the cliffs. But we decided to go somewhere different that night. We headed into a place called Old West Ranch. It's rumored to be super haunted. Or at least that's what my high school classmates told me. I had barely lived there for 2 years at that point. Turns out that my bestie's stepdad owned the place at the time, so we were cool to go up and check it out. We didn't find anything up there, got stoned, got bored, headed back down the windy, single-lane mountain road. On the driver's side of the road was a steep drop-off, and on the passenger side, it was bushes, trees, and an occasional house. My bestie was driving, with her boyfriend in the passenger seat, and I was sitting behind him. I'm staring out the window, hoping to see like a deer or a mountain lion, or something normal for a mountain town. Instead, I'm seeing a really pale, humanoid-ish shape with what looked like stretched out limbs. It was moving alongside us, keeping pace with the car at 20-25 miles an hour, keeping to the bushes and trees along the side of the road. Literally right as I'm starting to ask if my bestie's boyfriend is seeing it too, since he is on the same side of the car, he yells, "What the hell?" And the pale thing came zooming out of the bushes, slamming into the front passenger side wheel. It hit the car, a small Saturn 4-door, hard enough to push us to the edge of the drop-off. We all started freaking the frick out. My bestie maneuvered the car away from the drop-off, then drove a good distance before we stopped panicking enough to stop and check the car for damage, and proof that we didn't collectively hallucinate. There was a new dent in the metal right above the wheel on the passenger side. A good size one too, almost the size of a hubcap. My bestie just saw a pale shape come towards the car. Her boyfriend described it as, "This pasty butt golem looking fricker," which I can wholeheartedly agree is accurate. I know creepypastas are just spooky stories, but it legit made me think of The Rake. I've never gone back up to the Old West, and I don't know if I ever will, cause that crap was scary as hell. Case notes file 1790. Tehachapi Fright. You don't whistle here at night. That is a deeply gut-wrenching line. You go somewhere and someone says, "Be very quiet." You know there's danger afoot. Maybe just wild animals, but still. Oof. What you described is almost like a Slender Man kind of story, or the worst stories were on mountains especially. There's often fog accompanying some sort of monster. There's so many different versions of them, it's probably one entity that can manipulate how people perceive it while still being very strong, as evidence to the damage of your car. But it didn't actually harm you, where in my view it probably could have. So I think it was scaring you off more than trying to, eat your soul or something. Which is definitely preferable. Now time for the joke of the day. I saw a woman drop her purse in the high street this morning, so I quickly followed her. As I was just about to tap her on the shoulder, she started running for a bus. So I ran after her shouting, "You dropped your purse! You dropped your purse!" She didn't hear me and proceeded to get onto the bus, so I got onto the bus too. As I walked to the back of the bus, I breathlessly said, "You dropped your purse on the ground outside McDonald's." "Thank you so much," she said. "Where is it?" "I just told you. It's on the ground outside McDonald's." Well, hey, at least he told her, could have brought it with you, but hey, conveying information is something. Oh man. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.